If you want to see your country develop, this is the 7 stages every individual has to pass through to bring about a nation that is great. Number 1 is the stage of personal discovery. The greatest miracle that can happen to you is to know who you are. The greatest miracle that can happen to man is to know who he is. And I like that postulation by a man called Socrates. He said, "Man, know thyself." Who you are is beyond your gender. Who you are is beyond male or female. Who you are is beyond your geographical location. Who you are is beyond where you are born, where you come from. All that has nothing to do with who you really are. Who you are is the identity that God created you with. You see, every car has what you call chassis number. So when you are driving and police stops you, sometimes they are checking, that's what they are looking for. And chassis numbers are unique to every car. There are no 2 cars that have the same chassis number. That is how it is with everyone God created. There's a chassis number God put inside of you the day you were created. And that chassis number is what is who you really are. Your own identity could be different from my own identity. What God created or dog to be is different from what he created to be. We all have different identities, we have different callings, we have different purposes, we have different potentials and talents. We are all equipped differently. But the biggest tragedy of your life will be the loss of that identity. Any day you lose the concept of who you are, is that your life will start discounting. The true meaning of life is in finding and knowing why you are born. So after a man is born, there's another journey he needs to undertake. A new journey of repentance that is important. That journey is a journey of unlearning and rediscovering the very essence for his creation. You can't have a nation that is great until every citizen of that country undertakes that journey of self-discovery. Self-discovery is what puts an end to all the crises of humanity. The reason why a lot of people act the way they act is simple. They don't know who they are. The greatest form of abuse is self-abuse. I hear people talk about drug abuse. You can't abuse drug if you've not abused yourself first. I hear people talk about all kinds of abuse. There's no abuse that will be in existence until there's one abuse called self-abuse. And self-abuse is the product of ignorance of who you are. If you don't know who you are, you treat yourself anyhow. If you don't know who you are, you talk anyhow. If you don't know who you are, you move with the wrong people. If you don't know who you are, you do whatever the person is doing. What makes an eagle soar differently and fly differently than a chicken is simple in the knowledge of who the eagle is. Eagles have wings like chickens also have wings. But you see, one flies altitudes that the other one cannot fly. The difference is the knowledge of who he is. When you go to the, what do you call it? The animal kingdom. Let me use that word. Discover that the animal kingdom has clusters of different animals. You have lions, you have chimpanzee, you have gorillas, you have monkeys, and all kinds of things. You have giraffes, you have zebras. Amongst all this creation or these creatures, the one that we call the king of the jungle is the lion. Why is the lion the king of the jungle? He's not the king of the jungle because he's the biggest. As a matter of fact, the elephant is bigger than the lion. The giraffe is taller than the lion. If you look at the lion, it even looks small than all these other big creatures like hippopotamus and all that. But what makes the lion the man who is in charge is identity. And this is the foundation for leadership. If you put power in the hands of a man who is timid, you will destroy a nation. If you put power in the hands of a man who does not know who he is, he will abuse himself, abuse the office, and abuse people. Why? Because the purpose of power is to use it to serve people, to serve the interests of humanity. Power is not for decoration. Power is not for aggrandizement of self. The purpose of power is to enrich other people. But it's risky now putting power in the hands of wrong people. And what makes a man a wrong person first is not that he does anything wrong. What makes a man a wrong person is his value system. And value systems have their foundation rooted in your identity. Until you know who you are, you cannot end up a leader.